After a spike in homicides and other violent crimes in 2012, the region's violent crime rate dropped last year to a near 30-year low, says a new report from Sandag. Here to help put this year's report into context are my guests, San Diego Sheriff Bill Gore and Cynthia Burke, Sandag's Director of Criminal Research. Welcome back.
Hi. Thanks.
Cynthia, which violent crimes actually saw the biggest drop this year?
Homicide. We saw a drop from 107 in 2012 down to around 72 in 2013, so a big drop. The biggest reason was gang crime. Gang-related homicides were down.
What about other violent crimes, murder or assault or things like that?
That's a homicide. The rape, robbery, and aggravated assault were all down also about 4 to 5%. And so we saw the violent crime rate was its second lowest in the past 30 years, and robbery assault about the second, fifth.
Okay, and Sheriff Gore, did any of this report surprise you? And are you actually seeing this sort of drop in the reality on the street?
No, I'm very pleasantly surprised with the report because we had that uptick last year, as you mentioned, Peggy, and you're always concerned. We watch these stats. We don't wait till, although we enjoy Cindy's report, we don't wait till the year end to look at the crime stats. We're constantly monitoring it. Through our analysis capabilities, all the departments are. So we suspected this trend, and it's very encouraging. I think instead of looking at things in 6-month or one year increments, I think it's really a great news story when you can look back 30 years in San Diego County and just look at that steady decline. And it's not just in one little area; it's region-wide, and I think that's a reflection of the region-wide approach that we take in law enforcement to solving crimes.
And Cynthia, although the overall drop, as we're talking about and the sheriff said, has gone down, there were a few crimes that went up. Tell us about those.
We did property crime. We did see increase. It was by less than 1%. Motor vehicle theft was at its 30-year low. That's good news. But we did see some increases in burglary as well as larceny. Again, fairly small, still very low in the whole 30-year trend, but a lot of those burglaries happen when people left doors and windows open. A lot of the larcenies are happening when people leave things out in their car. Not saying that crime's ever okay, but I think we need to be smart about what we're doing with our belongings, because 90% of all crime is property crime.
All right. And Sheriff Gore, the prison realignment, AB 109, went into effect in October 2011.
Right.
And I know back then some law enforcement officials were worried that this was going to cause an increase in crime. How come you think it didn't?
Well, that was our concern last year when that little spike up. We said, okay, is this realignment? Is it not realignment? Again, I don't think it did because the big change were we have more people in our jails, but it's not like there was more people just released from our jails. They're in our facilities, and the people that are under control of county probation officers, actually a better ratio of probation officers watching them than there used to be with state parole officers. So I didn't see a big shift in the amount of supervision they're getting, and I think we're going to do a better job down the road of preparing these people to leave our facilities and re-enter successfully back into our communities. The state had a 72% recidivism rate. So I think, we know we're not going to take that down to 0, but if we could take that down to 50%, that'll keep our crime rates low, and I think we can do that.
Why do you think, I know you touched on this earlier, but why do you think this particular, in this report, that crime rates are down? Can you pinpoint it on maybe more officers?
Yeah. I think it's always a combination of things. It's just good police work, better analytical tools that we all have available to us now in this digital age we live in, better participation with our public that we need so desperately in solving crimes through neighborhood watches, through public crime mapping that we do all over the region now, better forensic DNA analysis now. A great statistic I love to put out there, in the unknown DNA specimens we send off to have them checked to see if we can identify the subject, we get hits back in 77% of those cases. Fingerprints, we get hits back in about 10%. So we're solving a lot of crimes, maybe for residential burglary, for example, not on the 10th or 12th burglary, but maybe on the 2nd or 3rd burglary. And that has a way of keeping those crime rates going in the right direction, which is down.
A direct impact. And Cynthia, do you feel that, well, I should ask you this, how do we compare here in San Diego compared to other cities as far as our crime rate?
We do a great job, especially when you consider we're on a border region where there has the potential for spillover violence from our neighboring country. We are the 3rd lowest violent crime rate, 3rd lowest property crime rate of large U.S. cities across the United States. We've been that 2nd or 3rd place overall. We do a great job here.
Okay, well, we have a lot more about this on our website, kpbs.org. Cynthia Burke and Sheriff Bill Gore, thank you.
Thanks, Peggy.
Thank you.